Hello, everybody, and welcome to my review of Justice League number 46, an issue that is written by Robert Van Diddy and art by Zermanico. And we have a story here that seems big. You end up having Jim Corrigan retire from the whole Spectre gig. The Spectre now is out and about without a Jim Corrigan being the thing that's tying him down. And everybody, it seems, is starting to get grudges. They're starting to hate each other because of the unchecked Spectre. Now, you ended up having the Justice League last issue bicker and argue. It was okay. You end up having the idea that, the Flash is mad at Jon Stewart because Jon Stewart, he tries to be the leader and all they want the Flash to do is run around. You have Batman upset at Superman because he told the world his identity. Wonder Woman's mad at Aquaman. It just, you're swirling around. Everybody's mad at everyone. And then you end up, when they come to their senses, which is tried to explain in this that it was Zeus. I went back. It was not very clear what that was, but they end up having to go and quote unquote rescue Jim Corrigan from Themyscira because you need to get him on board with the Spectre again. Now, you don't see anything of the worldwide situation. Is everybody in the world bickering? Are people killing each other? Things like that. I think that would, really up the ante. The scope would be really big. But you do end up having Wonder Woman get the rest of the Justice League through the portal to Themyscira, and that's a big thing. Men are not allowed to step foot there on Themyscira, and you're inviting your whole clubhouse in, and, that is the fun, maybe, of what this issue was going to be. Well, we start out with the Amazons. They are pissed. You're not allowed to let these males hear what everybody trying to get the Themyscira nowadays. I mean, really, we just had this other guy, this brooding male. He ends up showing up. He wants to get imprisoned things. And they're like, oh, that's Jim Corrigan. He is the Spectre, the immortal spirit of vengeance. That's who he ends up having take over his body at points. He's the human host. And without Jim Corrigan, the Spectre's vengeance is untempered. Again, we're not really seeing that except for some bickering amongst the Justice League. Now, that might be enough for most because they are best of friends. They're BFFs, they are. And so maybe having them, fighting a little shows you, oh, geez, there is trouble, right? So you end up, it's them saying, we need to, convince Corrigan to get back with the Spectre. And it was only a thunderbolt from Zeus that stopped us. I went back. It didn't really spell that out very well. Well, what ends up happening then is, surprise, surprise, the Spectre's what I'd like to call grudge gas. They ends up infecting the Amazons. They start yelling, kill the interlopers. Now, this is more of a grudge based on, oh man, they're not allowed, but they're going to go after Wonder Woman as well and all this stuff going on. And what you get from Venditti that is pretty good in this issue is you get to see the Justice League work together. And you get to see Wonder Woman, since she knows how the Amazons will attack, you get to see her coordinating, becoming the leader here, and telling each of the Justice League members what they can do to fend off the attacks by the Amazons. And it also gives you a bit of a, highlight reel of the Justice League doing things with their powers, things like that. But you have a problem where when they're fighting, they really don't want to hurt the Amazons because, they're Diana's sisters, but they're also under the grudge gas of the Spectre. And so they end up trying to, let's go here, let's avoid this. They're more on the defensive deal. The problem is the Amazons aren't. Well, you end up where the Justice League breaks through the ranks. They break through the ranks by kicking, punching, all that stuff. They're getting real sassy there. They're getting sassy. Catch me outside. So they end up breaking through here. And they get to or going to Tartarus Mountain. But the problem is when they look back, don't look back in anger and don't walk away mad, just walk away. They look back and they end up seeing now because the Amazons don't have a target to direct their grudges against. They're turning on each other and Hippolyta in general. They are going to rip each other apart. What is Diana going to do? Well, Jon Stewart steps up as this is going on and says to them, well, I'll go back. They need a target. Well, I have an idea. I got something pretty cool. And what he does is make a construct Green Lantern Corps so that they can all attack. Once they start shooting arrows and they just go through, I would think they realize this, but hey, we'll deal with this. And it's a pretty cool moment. It's a good Jon Stewart moment. The rest of the Justice League, with Diana leading the way, do go to Mount Tartarus, where they do see that the Amazon sisters that are in charge of guarding this entrance to Tartarus, they have actually ripped each other apart, seemingly killed each other because of this whole deal with the Spectre, but they have to open the door, this big rock, the Justice League struggling until Wonder Woman pretty much, comes over and says, hold my lasso, and ends up pretty much taking this huge rock, opening up herself, and they go in. But they do end up saying that they can't leave the front door open too long. Probably let the flies in. Nobody wants to do that. It's in the middle of summer, I'm guessing. Isn't every day the middle of summer in Paradise Island? I don't know. It's island time. They're there, and you don't want to leave that door open too long. We'll find out why by the end. It's, kind of foreshadowing. But again, it's a little forced, and you do end up having Diana tell Flash, hey, all you do is run around. Yeah, run around. See what you can find. And he does end up finding Jim Corrigan, who looks a little worse for wear, if you ask me. It always, to me, Jim Corrigan, when he's just Jim Corrigan, he looks like Constantine's ugly brother, is what he did. And nobody wants to be the ugly brother, but they find Jim Corrigan and say, hey, what's up? You should get back with the Spectre. It's almost like they're chasing him down to convince him not to leave his lover, the Spectre. His Spectre promised he'll be fine. He's not going to get angry anymore. He won't be handsy. So they end up with this whole deal. Hey, you got to get back. Oh, man. You guys came to find me? It's been like 20 years. Like, no, it's not. Time moves different in here. The problem, though, is that all of a sudden then you stop right there from it actually being the Jim Corrigan Spectre deal just to introduce another thing. Oh, my. Tartarus, the first god of hell. Now that the front door is open, the flies are getting in. The first god of hell's getting out. And there's nobody to stop him unless they do right there. And that ends the issue. It's okay. It's just that not a lot happens. And you end up coming in with some big ideas. Hey, what's going to happen? What are the Amazonians going to do when you have all these guys showing up? Well, they already had Jim Corrigan already, so that kind of shoves that aside. But, you don't even get that because it's more about grudge. Get the interlopers. The Spectre's right. Then you want to have this meeting with a Jim Corrigan so he can explain himself a little more. He's depressed. He doesn't like being the host of the Spectre. He wants to be his own guy. But you don't even get that because oh man, it's been 20 years. Wait a minute. I better stop because here comes this huge god of hell. Oh no, we left the door open, and then it switches to this. So we'll see how it ends. But again, because of the idea of the Justice League kind of stopping with this interlude till we get to Death Metal, you can't really let Venditti do too much, right? He can't do that much going on. And just as an aside, this coming week, Death Metal starts. So this Justice League book that already feels like, well, it's just the side deal, Tales of the Justice League, whatever, it's going to be even less than. And I do think that there will be people who will probably drop this book so that they can just, add the Death Metal. Not everybody's a Rockefeller. They're riding their rickshaw down to the comic store, eating pork rinds like there's no tomorrow. Isn't that what rich people do? But yeah, I think that this book, it's really not doing a lot. But it's not anything that angers you. I'm not angry. I'm just kind of bored. I'm just sitting here. I wish I could be sassy about it, but I can't. But because of all that, I'd give it a 6.5. I do like Xermanico's art a lot. I like some of the things. I like the idea that they team up. You see some teamwork going on, especially after the bickering of before. I like Diana stepping up, but these aren't things that are going to make me give this a 10 out of 10, that the Justice League actually works together. That's not going to work that way. But yeah, 6.5. And yeah, we'll see how it ends. We'll see how this one resets. But that's it for this review. I hope that you liked it. If you did, it'd be great if you'd subscribe to the channel, like this video, do all that stuff. Again, I don't know the lingo. I don't know what you're supposed to say. That's all I know. But hey, check out the notes below. It'll give you all the links to our podcasts, website, all the stuff that we do. Try to have fun with it. And it's not just me. Me and Eric do the DC podcast, and me and my buddy Brandon do the Marvel stuff. So check it out, and I'll talk to you later.